Hi, folks.
Howdy.
That's Rob.
That's Marcy.
And we're the Handmade Harriells, and today we are bringing you Rob's coffee. What do you call this?
The BLOOMIN Cold Brew Concentrate.
Oh yeah, baby.
Fasten your seatbelts.
It's going to be a bumpy ride. So what is this BLOOMIN cold brew method good for?
Yes, this is a great question. Thank you, Marcy.
You're welcome.
Well, it's good if you want to have a concentrate in the fridge that you can add your water to anytime you want. This big old batch we make, that lasts us 3 days, and we drink a lot of coffee. And it doesn't get any worse sitting in the fridge.
It don't get
it's
no
so
worse.
Good. The other thing it's really good for, camping. Because all you do is you take your concentrate in your backpack, so you're not packing in a ton of weight, and then at the campsite you just add your water and you've got the best coffee at the campground. Half coffee, half water, boom. I'm saying boom again.
That's okay. You like boom.
I do.
I
do.
You do.
I don't
like
know
boom.
why. Today I'll be using a burr grinder, French press, scale, a thermopin, but you can absolutely use this method without all this equipment. I was grinding my beans at the store and working without most of these toys at first. We'll link these items below and put instructions in the description box to make this concentrate no matter what you have on hand. The only things you really need to spend some money on are good coffee beans. And make sure you have good water that you like to drink, because if you don't have those two things, you really can't make a good cup of coffee. Ultimately, you want to have a nice burr grinder. You would like to have a scale, because that's going to help you repeat things to, fine tune your cup of coffee.
Make things repeatable.
Yeah, repeatable.
Repeatable.
The way you like it.
Yeah. The reason Rob bought this giant French press, the press of the French, is what we have. We have a giant one because we drink a lot of coffee, as evidenced by our current level of energy.
And then I get this because I can get the water to the perfect temperature that I like. Temperature that I like.
Temperature. It's also on the back. It says super fast thermopin.
Well, because it does. Watch how quickly it changes temperature. And imagine if it gets really hot.
Like him.
Yeah, there you go.
You also use a sieve.
I have a sieve.
A metal sieve.
1 second, I'm gonna get my sieve.
I don't think you are though, because it's dirty.
I'm gonna get my sieve.
No, but it's all dirty.
You have no idea.
Well, I'm gonna cut this part out anyway.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No.
Rob wasn't ready with his tools, yeah.
Okay, this, just a little fancy sieve.
It's so wet.
What else? Oh, do I want to talk about the beans that I've got?
Yes, we've already had some coffee. I don't know if you can tell. Let's talk about the beans.
Okay, so the beans from Onyx Coffee Lab right here in Northwest Arkansas in the Ozark Mountains.
Yeah. There you go.
I like beans that have been farmed in a really nice fashion where the farmers and the farm workers are taken care of. Beans, it's just really important. Experiment with the beans that you buy. Find out who you're buying them from. See how much care and love they put into the picking of the beans and then the roasting of the beans. Now, if you grind at the store, one thing, please, just please, clean out that grinder the best you can, because people put all, what?
Oh yes, keep going.
Yes.
Yes.
They put all sorts of beans through there. Some of them are flavored and whatever. And if that's your thing, that's fine. But I don't want butterscotch flavoring put into my coffee. So clean it out. Use the brush, whack it around, whatever it is, and then run your beans through. The problem is, as soon as you grind it, it starts to get oxidated, and that's the thing that's going to make the flavor go away.
He said oxidated, and then he tried to bring it back to real people's speech, but he knows all of the terms.
I don't know all the terms.
Yeah, you
I don't even know if that's right.
That's right.
I don't.
I'm sure it's right. You know what? I don't even think you needed me here for questions.
That's not true.
No, you just started and just went.
You're like my blankie.
I'm like,
yes.
What, like a...
Well, it's like my safety blanket here.
I'm your safety blanket?
Of course.
Like the video?
Yeah, otherwise, I'm out here in a vacuum, just like yammering.
No, these are our friends.
I know.
They're very
But I'm not a
excited for you
pro.
to do this.
You're a pro.
No.
Yes.
You're doing awesome.
I feel like I'm just...
No, that's because I fed him a lot of coffee today, because I knew he had to film this. It's time to make the coffee. I think I'm going to step out of the way while you do this, because you don't need me here for this part.
No.
No, you know how to do this. This is all about you. I'm maybe going to just go back here and just watch you weirdly.
Here we go.
You got this.
Okay, for the first part of this, we start with a simple equation, 7-to-1. You're going to take your amount of coffee, multiply that times 7, and that's the amount of water you're going to need. Your water will be split into about 1/3 hot water and 2/3 cold water. All right, I'm going to take my little bag of coffee, and I'm going to measure out, because I know how much I can make in this bad boy. I'm going to measure out 170 grams of coffee. I'm weighing my beans in grams. I like precision. If you don't have a scale, you can use a measuring cup method, which I'll list below, but scales are great. And they're multitaskers for coffee, for baking, for cooking, for whatever. Time for the maths. 170 grams of coffee times 7 equals 1,190 grams of water, split into both hot and cold. Take my little kettle, heat up about 300 milliliters of water. Okie doke. While the water's heating, let's grind the beans. Again, you can use pre-ground coffee if you don't have a grinder. That's what I did when I came up with the method, but grinding at home gives you the freshest, most aromatic, most tasty cup that you can get. I'm shooting for a medium fine drip grind. That's what you're looking for if you're buying pre-ground, or you can use the grinder at the local market. Just set the dial there to medium fine drip. Let's get those beautiful grounds into our French press, or whatever vessel you're working with. Time for a sexy slow-mo. At this point, my water has reached 197 degrees. Now see, I like to have my water between 195 and 205 degrees. That's the perfect temperature. This allows me to do it. But if you don't have that, all you gotta do is bring your water to a boil and then let it sit off of the flame for like 30-45 seconds, and it's gonna be right in that perfect temperature. So I zero that out. I'm going to bloom the coffee and bring it up to 300 milliliters or thereabouts. Again, if you don't have a scale, just bloom your coffee with roughly 1/3 of the amount of total water. I'm going to stir it. I'm going to make sure that all of the grounds are completely submerged and covered with water. Set a timer for 5 minutes, and I'm gonna just let it sit and bloom. Water. This is my cold water. Make sure it's water that you would actually drink, because this is what makes up most of your coffee, all right? You can do a deep dive into the types of water you want. You just want it somewhat soft. You know, it's got the little mineral makeup in it, but if you drink it, you like it, it's good. So I'm gonna be adding 890 grams of water to the 300 of hot water that we already have, so that we get our 1190. Make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay, here it goes.
Hey Rob, why are you using cold water at this point?
The hot water that bloomed the coffee is starting to brew the coffee, right? I'm stopping that process, or slowing it way down, not stopping it, slowing it way down. And then we're gonna put it in the fridge and slow it even further down, so you got this cold brew action happening.
Sounds like science to me.
Probably. Just give it one last stir before we reach the end of our cold water, just to make sure that the temperature is uniform all the way through. And now, it's time to plunge. Insert the plunger, and I just barely press it down so all the grounds are just slightly submerged. Now leave all of that extra room in there. I'm going to wrap it up with a little bit of cellophane. And I'm just putting a little bit of cellophane over the spout area so I don't evaporate too much, and I also don't get any of the scents from the refrigerator. Don't want them to get in.
Let me get that for you.
Thank you. And now we put it in the fridge. We start ourselves a little timer for 12 to 24 hours.
Whoa, yeah.
Lately I like to go to 24 because I'm getting all these wonderful deeper flavors in it.
Magic of YouTube. Time is passing. Oh, Rob, happy next day.
Holy cow.
We might have made 2 batches of coffee just to make this easier on us because it's your first tutorial.
It is my first tutorial.
I'm going to make it easy on him.
Indeed.
So I guess it's time for further steps,
Okay,
Rob. So I'm just going to, your assistant's going to just fade into the distance.
All right, this is the easiest part of the whole thing other than drinking the coffee. She's switching sides on me.
It's because it's day 2.
Okay, got my vessel. I place my mesh sieve on top. It's basically a homemade Chemex. Then I'm gonna grab my paper filter. This is a Chemex filter, but you can use whatever filter you want. This is going to help you make your brew really nice and clean and yummy. I'm gonna go wet this, be right back. You wet the filter to get any of the paper taste out of it, and then it also allows the coffee to run through it without, getting coffee all through the filter because it's already down. We got our coffee out of the fridge. Remove that cellophane, and now we're going to slowly plunge. Don't press too hard, don't smash it on the bottom. You don't want to release any of that extra bitter stuff, just real gentle like. I gently pour into the filter. And you just let it filter. So what you're going to end up with is a coffee concentrate that is a 1-to-1 ratio of concentrate to water. It is super simple. And if you want to, you can put the whole thing in the fridge, so all you have to do is warm it up, or you can just warm it up as you go.
May I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Well, Rob, you like a 1-to-1 ratio of coffee to water.
I do.
Right?
Yes. If you happen to like coffee that's maybe just not quite as strong. My mom, for example, she doesn't like it as strong as I make it, so I make hers 1.5 water to 1 concentrate. So it just depends on what flavor you like, how you like your coffee, how much caffeine you can take.
So you can tailor it to your tastes, much like you'd tailor a garment to your form. And there's where it comes. Full circle. Well, Rob, I think through the magic of YouTube that your coffee concentrate has filtered through that beautiful 2-part sieve, and voila.
Voila. Do you see how pretty that is?
That's so pretty.
Basically all you gotta do is
put it in my mouth.
That's what she said. All you gotta do is find out how much coffee that is, and you add that amount of water.
Or you could pour yourself a 4-ounce cup of concentrate.
And a 4-ounce cup of water.
Boom, you got your 8-ounce cup of coffee.
Boom.
Now I'm saying boom.
I know.
Well, Rob.
Yes.
You did it.
Wow. Okay, and then through the magic of YouTube yet again, it's like, that's pretty good.
It's really good.
It really is. It's a lot going on.
Guys, hope you understood this because it's a lot of steps, but they're really simple steps.
I'm going to write it down below. If you have questions, you let us know. We'll answer them hopefully in the comments or in the next cup of soda, Joe.
Yeah. You might get called out in one of our Q&A Cup of Sojo videos where we drink some Joe and talk some So, and now we'll actually talk some Joe as well, probably.
There you go. Cup of Sojo.
Ho,
Yo.
ho, ho.
Whoa.
All right, y'all. You know the drill. Peace out.
Emphasis on peace.
And coffee. Shall we run way out?
So what do I do now?
That's what she said.
Okay.
I don't think I can use that one.
Maybe not.
Let's try that off.
Okay. Stirring a lot.
I thought for a second there you were going to talk about mouthfeel.
Floating free.
Floating free.
So, moistened. God, I hate that word.
Yeah, you should do that over.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you find your days lacking the handmade Harriells? Well, do we have a program for you? Goofball TV.
Someone said we should have a Saturday morning show. We could sing, we can make coffee,
Yes.
and dance a little bit.